Hey y'all, over the years, there have been a few recipes that I don't care what piece of the country I'm in, somebody's gonna say something about a certain recipe. Well, this is one of those recipes. And you talk about easy, and it's my orange blossoms or lemon blossoms. And the recipe was in, I think, my second cookbook, The Lady and Sons 2. And I know that it's also in the Kitchen Classics book. So you can make an orange blossom, which is the recipe here in the book. But I'm gonna make lemon blossoms in the little miniature cups. And you're just not gonna believe how good these are. And I'm starting with a cake mix, y'all. And I have instructions in the recipe as to how to put the cake together. And it's real simple too. 1 yellow cake mix, 1 small box of lemon instant pudding, and let's see, I've got 3/4 a cup of oil and 3/4 a cup of water. So I think that's pretty much, what it said on the box, didn't it, Eddie? Yeah. Some cake mixes call for softened butter, some call for oil. So I just like the way how it reacts with the cake mix. It just makes it very, very moist. All right, so we just gonna mix this up good. We're gonna beat it for a couple of minutes. And now I'm gonna add my eggs, kind of one at a time. And you don't want to use the little muffin liners for this recipe, because after we bake them off, they're going to be taking a wonderful bath. All right. So on with our lemon blossoms. All right. I'm going to want to make sure, these are non-stick pans, but I want to make sure that I spray them real good, because we don't want any sticking. And I'm using the spray that has flour in it also. So it's really good to keep it from sticking. So every time I go to look for something, y'all, I have to remember that we're not living in our house, we're living in Bobby's house. And my stuff is in storage. So you want to make sure that your muffin tins are filled exactly even. Now I've sprayed this. I sprayed this so that our batter will come out. And I'm using about a tablespoon per hole. Because like I said, we want to make sure they all get cooked at the same time. So I'm not going to ask y'all to watch this. This is like watching paint dry. So
why do you call it batter? We should call it gooder.
Now y'all see what I live with? He thinks of all this crazy stuff that I never think of. But it's like his little mind never stops. He thinks up the goofiest stuff. Well, it's batter, not better. See, if it was called better, I'm like you, I would question it. But it's batter.
Yeah, like that. Batter.
But it's actually gooder. Okay, we've got all the tins filled, and it's actually going to make about 4 dozen. You know, it could vary a little bit depending on how full you fill your cups. So in the oven they go. Gosh, I can't remember how long I normally bake these, but I had the oven preheated at 325. And let's see what I said. Bake for 10 to 12 minutes. So while those are baking, I'm going to, you know, I told you they was going to get a bath. So I'll show you what they're going to be bathing in. And I'm going to go back to my cookbook and refer to measurements. All right, for our glaze, we've got 3 cups of confectionate sugar, a half a cup, where did I put it? Oh, put it over here in Michael's area. So I'm gonna add a half a cup of concentrated lemonade. You know, the frozen little containers of lemonade. I'm using a half a cup. Now, if we were making the orange blossoms, I would be doing orange juice. And I'm adding 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm gonna need 3 tablespoons of water. So it's all pretty easy. What did I do with my, oh, there it is. How you coming with your tuna fish?
Good. It's almost an egg salad tuna fish.
All right, it's hard to fill up a...
Egg salad tuna fish. Paula, maybe you and Michael can reenact what's going on your shirt at the end of the episode.
Listen, I was with the triplets this morning, and you know how much they love ballerinas, Eddie?
Yes.
And I had them some ballerina pillows made for their cribs for the 2 girls, not Linton. And I walked up to them and they said, "Guinea ballerinas." Even Linton was saying, Guinea ballerinas, Senor. Talking about the man. Mm-hmm. I said, well, that's Patrick Swayze, baby. Or is it Peepaw?
There's a resemblance.
And this is Guinea. Y'all, I loved Dirty Dancing. I swear to you, I have seen it, I know, at least 100 times. Every time I see it on, I stop, sit down, and watch it. Because I just thought it was just wonderful. And so Terry, my friend that owns, A Little Piece of Heaven?
Little Bit of Heaven.
A Little Bit of Heaven, the bakery, you know, she did a show with me, a video with me. She was showing us how to make the cocoa bombs. Well, she went up to the lodge where Dirty Dancing was actually filmed. And so while she was there, she bought me a Dirty Dancing t-shirt. And Terry, I have to tell you, I don't know who loves it the most, my grandchildren or me. So every time I wear it, I'll think about you, girl. And just cross my fingers that Dirty Dancing will come on for the 2000th time. Because I will be watching it. All right, so I've got the timer set for 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm going to run back over the measurements of this real quick. Like, it's 3 cups of confectionate sugar, a half a cup of frozen lemonade concentrate thawed, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and 3 tablespoons of water. So when our lemon blossoms come out, we're gonna immediately dip them into their sugar bath. And I confess, in the recipe, I instruct everybody to dip them once, but I let them dry and I dip them twice. So I may have to make up more batter, but I just love the way it soaks up that frosting-like stuff. So, I'll see you in 10. Okay, so here we go, y'all. He's made 4 dozen, and I just told Eddie, I said, you know, it's been a while since I made them, and I really filled my little cups too full. So, it probably would make 5 dozen, you know, if I hadn't been so eager to fill them so full. All right, so I'm gonna bring them over here. And like I said, it's been a long time since I've made these, so I'm gonna see which is gonna be the best, to fork it or tongue it. I think maybe fork it. And I'm definitely gonna have to make some more frosting up, Eddie, if I do them twice. You just won't believe how good these are. You know, I have to tell y'all this, to my knowledge, they used to make a box lemon cake mix, and it was good, but then all of a sudden it changed, and it was so artificial tasting. So y'all, please don't think you can use a yellow cake mix. You know, it's
A lemon cake mix.
What did I say?
A yellow.
Yeah, a yellow. A lemon cake mix. I would not recommend that. I would stick with the yellow and the lemon or orange jello pudding. Look at that. Look at that. Yum. So here we are, friends. A double dipped lemon blossom. So delicious. So easy to make. But look at the mess we made, Eddie. Look over there at our mess. But you're not supposed to look at that. You're just supposed to look at this beautiful plate. And speaking of this plate, my best friend Bubbles, Susan Green, and Phil, her husband, came over last weekend to bring Aunt Peggy here for her doctor's appointment. And Susan's mother is 94 years old. This beautiful crystal dish was given to her on her wedding. It was a wedding gift, and she's 94. And Susan asked if I would like it, and I said, oh my gosh, yes. So, it's probably 75 years old, right, Eddie?
Yeah, I would assume she probably got married in her early 20s.
Yeah, well, this means so much to me, this dish. I don't know how Susan parted with it, but she has probably got things like this out her ears because her mother never got rid of a thing. She was a little rat pack. So look how beautiful, Susan. Thank you, Bubbles. I wish I could send you one. And I just love my dish. It reminds me of my grandmother Paula's that I treasure. Is much like this, same shape, different little handle. But I hope y'all enjoy this. And in the cookbook, and maybe on the web, it's gonna come up orange blossoms. So just change it all out. And I did double my glaze recipe, because most folks probably wouldn't have them this coated, but I like it that way.
You're not gonna take a bite?
Huh?
You're not gonna take a bite?
You want me to take a bite? I've already eaten one. I'm gonna put these over here. I'm gonna eat so many of these things, y'all, it's gonna be sickening. And poor Michael's gonna have to sit there and watch me. You know, I got to get my butt on a diet too. I can't stand the thoughts of him getting skinny. He's staying fat and fluffy. Love and best dishes, y'all. And I will see y'all later. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.